Hi, in this video on the course basics of the overview of IBC, we will be learning the role of insolvency professional as envisaged under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. First and foremost, under the corporate insolvency resolution process, there is a dual role which an insolvency professional plays. One is that of interim resolution professional and the other of resolution professional. As an interim resolution professional, we do the initial takeover of control over the affairs of the company, the initial documentation with respect to claims submission and verification, and of course the stabilization till we can hand over this control to the resolution professional. Of course, the same insolvency professional may also continue as a resolution professional, or any other insolvency professional may be appointed as a resolution professional. And as a resolution professional, the role becomes more dynamic and it shifts to actively managing the affairs of the company by way of taking major business decisions, including even taking decisions with respect to finance, auditors, compliances, etc. Of course, with close monitoring of the committee of creditors. And apart from this, the main role of a resolution professional will be to plan the entire resolution process with respect to resolution plans. So resolution process with respect to submission of resolution plans, verification of plans, and voting on the plans will become the paramount role of a resolution professional. And of course, ultimately, to file various applications with the Honorable NCLT for the closure of this particular process. It may either be for approval of a resolution plan or for or for liquidation of the corporate debtor. Next is with respect to liquidation process and voluntary liquidation process, where an insolvency professional plays the role of a liquidator. As a liquidator, the main role of the insolvency professional is to collate the list of assets, right? Maintain an asset memorandum and start selling these assets. There are various manners of sale notified under the liquidation process regulations, and basis the nature of asset, the liquidator can opt for either a slump sale, standalone sale, sale of assets collectively, and that way they can sell the assets, realize the money, and distribute the money to the creditors. So this will be the role of a liquidator. As the name suggests, to liquidate the assets, realize the money, distribute the money to the creditors. That's about it in terms of a liquidator. Now, the difference between a liquidation process and a voluntary liquidation process is that a liquidation process is a situation where the company is insolvent. It is not in a position to repay all its debts. Whereas a voluntary liquidation is, as the name suggests, the company comes voluntarily into this liquidation process, where the company is a solvent company and its assets can meet the liabilities, meaning it can meet all its debts. So that is the difference. Otherwise, the role of the liquidator will remain the same, which is to identify the assets, sell the assets, realize the money, and distribute the money to the creditors. Next is with respect to individual insolvency. Under individual insolvency, again, an insolvency professional plays a dual role. One, with respect to the role termed as resolution professional in the insolvency resolution process, and second, as a bankruptcy trustee in the bankruptcy process. As a resolution professional in the insolvency resolution process, the role is to negotiate between the creditors and the personal guarantor, which is the individual insolvent, right? So the debtor. This negotiation is the core role of the resolution professional. He is not meant to do anything else apart from this. And this is an opportunity given to the debtor to settle with the creditors so that he will not be tagged with this bankrupt as a title for him, right? So that is the initial process wherein a debtor is given an opportunity to settle the debt. And that's where, as a resolution professional, your role will be only restricted to negotiating. And then, in consultation with the resolution professional, the debtor will come up with a repayment plan, which is a settlement proposal provided to the creditors. The creditors may either accept it or reject it. So, in an event they reject it, or in an event the debtor fails to submit a repayment plan, it will obviously end up in bankruptcy process. Of course, for a bankruptcy process, the procedure is different. You need to file, the creditor has to file a fresh application for bankruptcy. And then a bankruptcy trustee is appointed. Again, an insolvency professional is appointed as a bankruptcy trustee. As a bankruptcy trustee, the insolvency professional is expected to play the role of a liquidator, right? Even though the name suggests bankruptcy trustee, the role is similar to that of liquidator. Identify all the assets of the debtor, the individual, right? And go and initiate the sale of the assets, realize the money, distribute the money to the creditors. That's about it in terms of the role of the insolvency professional in individual insolvency. So this video sets the tone on what would be the role of an insolvency professional in various processes envisaged under the IBC. In the upcoming videos, we'll come up with more basics in terms of more better understanding of the IBC.